Hey, welcome Broken World Entertainment and the review for episode 7 of the Acolyte. And by God, this will be the quickest review probably that we'll do, because it's essentially episode 3. Yeah, and I kid you not, we are literally watching scene for scene from episode 3. This entire episode is a flashback, so it's not kind of a half and half with Saul explaining what happened 16 years ago to May. It is just full on 16 years ago. The four of them, Kalnaka, Saul, Indara, and Tobin, or Tobin, whatever the hell he's called, are sitting on this planet for 7 weeks. That's how long they've been on that planet with the witches. 7 weeks. Looking for life because they feel this power in the Force, which they call the Virgins or something, which is meant to be the Force creating life. And they are literally just going around with metal detectors to start with. Yeah, the Wookiee has a metal detector. Who knew metal detectors could detect the Force? But he's got that. The rest of them are picking up like moss and leaves and shit and putting it in little containers. Then we get Saul seeing Osha and May, which again is we see from episode 3 again when they're in the forests, using the Force to stop those little butterfly things. And then Horny Man comes out and stuff. We're just seeing that scene just from standing over with Saul. But he follows them to their fort, the gigantic fucking thing in the mountain. He follows them, sees them go up and blah, blah, blah. He climbs up and you see them. So that thing that happened in episode 3 where we were like, wait, what was that meant to be? Where they're teaching the girls about the power 1, the power 2, the power many. Not the sing part, the part where they're using the Force. Where she explains it's a thread and all this shit. If you remember, you heard like a knock or something and they get up and kind of look, and that scene went nowhere. It was just like, what was that meant to be? Yeah, it was Saul. He was up there looking down, and he doesn't knock anything while he's there looking and has to run. No, it's after he walks off. You hear the dong and they get up. Everything else, like, you're literally just seeing all the parts from episode 3. Like, literally, you're watching scenes from episode 3 that were, like, not from other people's point of view. You're literally watching this scene from episode 3. Torben. Well, Torben is what you would like to call a little bitch. Yeah, because he's sick and tired of being on this planet looking for life for 7 weeks. All he wants to do, and he's literally willing to do anything to do it, is go home to Coruscant. He wants to run home to Coruscant. And when they arrived into the witch's big bleeding fortress, if you remember, his eyes go black and he drops. Well, you're seeing it from his point of view when he walks in. From the second they walk in, he's in that trance. His eyes don't go black, but he's in the trance with Mother, whatever she was called, the black one. And she's basically trying to seduce him by weakening his mind by making him ask for what he wants, which is to go home to Coruscant, which he does. That's when his eyes turn black and he drops and they release him. So they basically, Saul, all he wants to do is take Osha. That's literally all he wants to do. It's like creepy, to be honest with you. He's desperate to take these girls because he's obsessed with thinking that Osha is destined to be his Padawan. Even though Indara keeps telling him, like, you're letting your own feelings cloud your judgment and all this type of crap. She's literally saying to him, like, you're trying to force what you want onto her and all this type of garbage, and that she's too old, that the council will never accept it. Every time Indara says we need to contact the council and ask for advice like what to do, Saul keeps coming up with a reason not to. Here's you get some of the greatest writing again in this, because when they're breaking into the fortress, they get Kalnaka to rip open the control panel and to slice it so they can access the lift thing or whatever, right? So Indara says, I'll go alone. And Saul's like, no, we have to go in all together. It's too dangerous. He goes, no, if we go in together, they might take it as a threat. And all I'm thinking is, you're literally breaking in to their bloody home. And you think one of you walking in makes it look like it's not a threat. Are you kidding me? You're literally breaking into their home. It's so stupid. And she instantly changes her mind. He's like, no, we got to do it as a team. She's like, yeah, all right. It's like, oh shit, that escalated quickly, didn't it? Later, like, no, they'll see it as a threat. No, we need to be a team. Ah, okay. You're like, Jesus Christ. So we can skip almost everything else from that part, because everything from that part is episode 3. Literally episode 3. We just see a tiny bit extra with the tests that they gave the girls. We see May kind of give them a little bit more information on the actual power that she was given and what the coven is and all this crap. Oh, by the way, they do mention Night Sisters. When Saul comes back and reports that he saw life on the planet, which, by the way, I don't understand how they don't know there's life on the planet, being that there's butterflies and they're literally eating like chickens and stuff. Is like, would that not class as life? You fucking clowns. But by the way, I'll come back to it. We'll talk about the fortress in a minute. But she kind of just more explains, like, oh yeah, the power of everyone, it's our destiny to be the leaders and blah blah blah. And Daria asks May, like, how can you be leaders? You're only children. She's like, I don't know, but Mother always says, like, it's everyone's destiny to pass away and all this. So it sounds like they're a cult that are going to top themselves or something. Don't know, it's weird. Then we get a little extra with Osha with that test, and it's just from kind of in Dara's point of view, seeing that Osha was kind of pushed a little more into agreeing to do the test properly by Saul, because Saul's desperate for her to want to come back to Coruscant. Yay. All the fire starts, everything else. But here's the thing, right? So they're out in the forest. Indara contacted Coruscant. The High Council was told no about bringing the kids back, that you've interfered too much. Basically, they went the Star Trek route again with the Prime Directive. This is where it all goes to shit, apparently, because this is where, again, little bitch man, Torben decides, no, fuck that. He gets the readings back from their blood, and turns out, not just are they twins, they're the same person. Yeah. So, when the Force created Osha and May, it basically took the same person and just split them. So one got all the kind of the goodness, and the other got pretty much the darkness. Yay. So Torben is on the hell path to say, hey, if we just get them, we can prove to Coruscant and to the High Council that they're this crap and stuff, and we can go home to Coruscant. So he takes off on a speeder. And Dara tells Saul, go after him, get him. He can't interfere. He goes off after him. By the way, the entire scenes with the speeders is horrendous. But he catches up to him and doesn't say, hey, we gotta go back or something. No. He's going, so we can't get in the door, Grant. Yeah, follow me, we need to get the kids. This is Saul saying this. They climb up. Now, while this is happening, we're getting the moments where Osha is telling her mother she wants to go with the Jedi, her agreeing. But then we get the other side with the horny mother, with May telling May to get angry, and she uses May to smash the door to lock it and stuff, and then says, like, prepare to fight, and they all get ready to fight the Jedi. In comes Saul and Torben. They're there wanting all this crap. Oh, we want the kids, blah blah blah. The mother comes out, starts saying you shouldn't have come back, blah blah blah. Then May comes running out, calling for help. By the way, now they're trying to show that after May tried to set the place on fire and kill her sister, now they reversed that to, oh, she actually tried to put the fire out and ran off to get help. But while she's there screaming for her mother, the black one puts her arms out and starts turning into a gas when Saul looks over. And by the way, Saul at this stage thinks that it's May, or Osha, that came running out when it's May, and sees that May starts vanishing into dust as well. So he just ignites his lightsaber and murders the mother. And then after he does that, she turns around and goes, I was going to let Osha go with you. She chose you over us. Yeah. It's like, then why were you transforming into a dust and taking the kid with... What? Which of course pisses the witches off, who all start firing their arrows at Torben. And only Torben for some reason, who's blocking them all. Horn Maya tries to have a fight with Saul, but Saul won't fight back, and she gets angry. Then she vanishes into dust. And they all vanish into dust. And they're like, what's happening? And then Kalnaka comes in and they say, you know, you're going to fight for us or some shit like that. And Torben says, my mind is blocked. And they're like, we're not talking about you. All the witches got together and took over Kalnaka. And that's where we get the Kalnaka Wookiee fight scene. Yeah, you finally get your Wookiee fight scene with a lightsaber. And it's dog shit. It's so slow. It's so cumbersome. It's horrible. But they're trying to fight him. And you also get probably one of the most hysterical scenes I've ever seen in Star Wars. Because the witches, it shows the witches in control of Kalnaka. They're all sitting there together, swaying from left to right, going, blah, 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 blah. Fat is there controlling, and it looks as stupid as it sounds. Indara comes in, puts her hand on Kalnaka's head, forces their powers back at them or something, and that's how they seem to die, because that's where they all drop. So it's the case of, did they drop dead, or are they just unconscious? I'm gonna go with they're unconscious, because how would that kill them? She literally just severed the link from their mind control over Kalnaka. Whatever. And then of course we do get what we all said from day one with these people, a cover-up. And the cover-up is that they're gonna take Osha back to Coruscant. Saul and Indara almost have a fight. Little bitch boy says, Masters, what are we going to do? And they said, we're going to tell the council the truth. And Saul's like, yes, we shall. And Indara says, yeah, we're going to tell them that May started a fire and killed all the witches. And then Saul's like, hang on, I must face the consequence. And she goes, why do that to the girl? She's already lost so much. And that's where it ends. Yeah. Literally, it was episode 3, just with a couple of extra bits thrown in. An absolute 100% guaranteed waste of fucking time. And what I said I will go back to with the fortress, yeah, when you see the fortress when Saul arrives, there's a great big door with a great big control center on it, climbing up half a mountain with all designs on it and stuff. And then of course the very top of this mountain that you can clearly see with the big structure on it. 7 weeks they've been on this planet and they didn't notice that thing. 7 weeks. How did you not notice that gigantic structure, man-made structure, in the side of a fucking mountain? So yes, they have really gone above and beyond to make the Jedi the bad guys. And they literally are. Not just the bad guys, but they're absolutely retarded. As is this show. I can't believe this show is like... Oh, by the way, we also get... Remember we were all asking the question, why didn't Saul just use the Force to grab the 2 girls when that bridge was collapsing? Oh, well, they've changed that scene now to he did. But here's the thing. He holds up the 2 bridges with the Force, looks at the 2 twins, and then decides, fuck May. Releases hers and just to hold up May's up. Yeah. Or Osha's, sorry. He literally lets May, what he thinks is die, just so he can hold that bridge up to give him a little extra time to run over and grab her. And he's like struggling to use the Force to hold up the 2 bridges. Yeah, so they've just really made Saul out to be the villain, that he's a scumbag. And they kind of hint at Anakin and the Emperor, because the black witch bitch says like, oh yeah, the Force are seeking like will destroy you. It'll be your downfall and all this crap. Garbage episode. It's the penultimate episode, and they revealed nothing that we didn't expect and say would be the case from day one of this show. Oh, Christ, I hate this show so much. And there's one more episode. I swear to God, by the time the show ends, I'm probably going to have to find a very high window. So, with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So cheers, and I will catch you in the next one.